Tales from the Terran Republic. Patricia encounters a setback. Inspector Vance stormed into the chief's office. "Good morning, Inspector," the chief said, blowing a few bubbles from within his globe. "What the fuck do you think you're doing?" "Paperwork," Chief Kaloxa said with a little smile. "Having a little bit of seaweed, not much." "You withdrew the protection detail for Bill Archer." "So I did," the chief said, floating idly. "I can't waste manpower on every deranged human with a blaster. He is in danger. From this Patricia person." "Yes, you have made that abundantly clear," the chief said, cocking a yellow eye at Vance. "I'm certain the Terran deputy ambassador is going to cause a major diplomatic incident over some doddering old fool taking potshots on a fully shielded limo that she wasn't even in. There won't be an incident. He will just disappear and chuckle, they will eat him. Yes, that's exactly what they will do. Inspector, I would think you would have outgrown your, what do you call them, fairy tales by now." "They aren't fairy tales. They are real. You weren't there. You don't know what they will do." "Look, Vance, you are a good man and a great cop, but you gotta let this go," the chief said, blowing bubbles of annoyance. "Patricia Who is the deputy ambassador. Accept it. The Sol Wars were a long time ago. If she was still this blood-drinking cannibal, wouldn't you think they would have caught her by now? Not her. Not that snake. Chief, you don't understand." "No, I don't, and I really don't care. I know you and every other human your age is losing their shit, but I can't devote manpower and resources over a century-and-a-half-old grievance that didn't even happen in my jurisdiction." "Not yet," Vance nearly shouted. "Not yet, but it will. And if it does, we will apprehend them and bring them to justice. This isn't the Sol system. This is Capital City. We have legions of detectives and lab technicians. They do something stupid and we will apprehend them. And if it is some sick shit like you keep on about their immunity won't protect them. They will go to prison and we will throw away the key." "At what cost?" Vance snarled. "You're going to wait until humans start disappearing or found with every drop of blood drained." "I'm telling you. This conversation is over, Vance. Get back to work." "Fuck you, sir." Inspector Vance strode angrily out of the chief's office, slamming the door behind him. The chief just watched him go and wiggled his head. "Oh, Vance," he thought to himself. "If only you knew who agreed with you." He activated his communicator. "Director, this is Chief Kaloxa. We lifted that protection detail." "Thank you, Chief," Director Axley said, blowing a few bubbles on his vidscreen. "Your loyalty to the Federation is to be admired. I just left an innocent sapient being completely at that Terran's mercy. Are you actually going to let them kill that guy? Then again, what is the blood of one more human on your hands at this point?" "I'm certain I don't know what you are talking about, Chief." "Yeah, and milk don't stink," the chief growled. John walked into the lobby of the embassy and looked over at the reception desk. Toby was right. You really couldn't recognize Dawn anymore. "Welcome back, Ambassador," she said in a cool tone. "It's good to see you up and around so soon." "You know how it is," John said as he approached. "Can't keep a good man down." "Indeed," Dawn smiled and reached for the intercom. "Hang on a second," John said with a friendly smile. "Dawn, can we talk?" "Okay, sir." "You know Patricia Who isn't a good person, right? You know her history?" "It was a dark time, sir," Dawn said in a frosty tone. "All sorts of people did all sorts of things to survive and provide for their people. I'm sure if we put a lot of people under the microscope that Miss Who has had to live under, we would find all sorts of shit. Yeah, there's doing what you gotta do, and then there is doing what she did. You really need to look into your new commanding officer. If you ever trusted me, do it now. She is bad news, and you need to be careful." "I will, sir," Dawn hissed. How could John not understand? How could he not see true greatness when it was right in front of him? Jealousy. That had to be it. He couldn't hold a candle to her, and he knew it. "Great," John said with a smile. "Oh, and do yourself a favor. Even if you are starting to believe that tripe, keep that true Terran nonsense to yourself." "Sir," Dawn said in surprise, her eyes widening. "True Terran. I'm not. I would never." "Not what I heard. It comes out of your mouth every time you touch those pearls she gave you." "Oh, she didn't mean that." "Well, that is a relief. Still, be careful with that phrase. It could be easily misunderstood. You know that, right?" "Oh, I will. I don't believe that. People don't believe it, do they? Those of us who really know you don't. We served together for years. But still, best to drop it," John said with a paternal smile. "Oh, I love the new look, by the way." "Thank you, sir," Dawn said as she almost beamed at him. "You look fantastic, but then again you always did," John said with a smile. "I did? Oh, he's just being kind. I looked awful." Well, no sense delaying any longer. Might as well go and see the old dragon, or is it an old bird? Yes, Ambassador, Dawn said with a smile. Deputy Ambassador, Dawn said as she pressed the intercom button. Ambassador Wintersmith is here to see you. What a lovely surprise, Patricia said in a happy voice. Please let him into his office. Don't get up, John said with a smile. I got it. With that, he opened the door and walked inside. John! Patricia exclaimed, rising to meet him. Patricia, looking as lovely as ever, John said, stepping forward. It is simply amazing what the surgeons can do. Oh, when you have my money, anything's possible. Patricia laughed her musical laugh as she embraced him. John was keenly aware of her breasts pressing against him. You are back so soon, she said, releasing him after holding him just a moment too long. Color me impressed, she said as she let her hand drift down his good arm, sending electric surges of excitement through him while staring deeply into his eyes with a look that was unmistakable. God, he wanted her. As you said, anything's possible. John smiled, stepping away. I don't have your cash, but I was able to manage a trick or two. I can see that. I love the arm, she exclaimed as she took his artificial hand. What little surprises did you sneak in there? She asked impishly. Oh, didn't have time, John laughed. I just told them to slap something on ASAP. I had to get back to the hen house before a certain serpent ate all my eggs. Patricia just laughed a delightful laugh. Oh, you, she laughed, flashing him a seductive smile. All of your real eggs are quite hard-shelled, she laughed. None of them were going to be so easily swallowed. Well, not all of them. John smiled and then stared deeply into her eyes. If Dawn gets hurt because of your bullshit, there will be hell to pay. Oh, John, she laughed dismissively. You worry too much. Dawn is special. I would never harm that glorious potential. Oh, the things she can become. Yeah, John said as he held his gaze. That's what I am worried about. We can play grab-ass all day, but if one of my people, Dawn included, gets hurt, you won't like it. Really? Patricia said wickedly. And exactly what will you do about it, I'm honestly not sure, John replied. And personally, I would prefer not to find out. Me either, Patricia smiled. Such unpleasantness is no way to welcome you back and absolutely no way to start our relationship. Our professional relationship, of course, she said, transfixing him with a wanton stare. Besides, Dawn is just my secretary, nothing more. She is not worth ruining our relationship over. She smiled warmly. In fact, I would offer to dismiss her, but she's so happy. I couldn't break her heart like that. I mean, if you insist. John pondered the options. No, there was a trick there. He just couldn't see it. It wouldn't be that easy. Not necessary, John said. I will hold that option in reserve for now. Patricia's emerald eyes twinkled. John was no fool. She liked that. Of course, if you change your mind, just say the word and I will have her replaced. Thank you, Patricia, John smiled warmly. You aren't as bad as everyone says you are. She just laughed a musical laugh. I like you, John. She smiled as she ran her finger down his chest just a little bit too far, sending his head reeling. This is going to be fun. She stepped back. I will retreat to my domain now. I've already taken the liberty of moving my things. She walked away, swaying her hips hypnotically. Once she left, John gripped his desk and adjusted himself, shifting the beginnings of an erection to a more comfortable position. Oh, shit, he said to himself. She is trying to pull a Nakamura on me. That afternoon, Patricia paused by Dawn's desk. I won't be able to meet with you this evening, child. You won't? Dawn asked in alarm. I'm afraid not. I must meet with my bloodlords concerning matters you are not yet ready to deal with. I can handle it. Oh, my dear sweet child, Patricia smiled. I have no doubt, but we can't push you forward so quickly. I trust you completely, but my men, they still need a little time. Give them a little time to get to know you, and you will be sitting with us in no time. Yes, ma'am, Dawn smiled. She trusted her completely. Just practice your art and we will meet again tomorrow. Yes, ma'am. Patricia fondly caressed her cheek as she walked away. Not yet, she thought. I need to own John first. As night fell, 4 humans silently entered a shabby hotel. They almost invisibly glided down the halls until they reached a locked door. With a barely audible click, the lock opened and they slid inside. Fang looked over at the other 3 and smiled. That fool Bill Archer dared to insult their master. Tonight he was going to pay dearly. And they would feast. Across the street on a shadowy rooftop, Servalux opened a black polymer case, withdrawing a long tube with his taloned hands and placed it on his shoulder. Taking a moment to target the appropriate window, he pressed a button. The tube silently shuddered as a black projectile flew. It smashed through the window and quietly burst with a little psh. Inside, dozens of mini-drones sprung forth, targeting anything with a pulse. Before they could react, Fang and his 3 companions fell to the ground. Impact confirmed. All targets down, a human female said into his earpad. Federation technology for the win, Servolux chuckled. He put the tube back into the case and faded into the night.